everybody in the room. Now I count exits. Everybody at the table got a smile designed for business. Half of them would testify and call it witness fitness. I used to build with 12 men, now it's down to maybe 4. The ones who stay when dollars started knocking on the door. Loyalty's a luxury when pressure's at the window. Every conversation got a subtext I'm decoding. I keep my circle tight, not cause I'm anti-social, cause the ones who smiling loudest tend to move the most local. I built this from the concrete with my own two weathered hands, and now I'm second guessing every single one of my plans. Who can I trust when the money talk? Who stays down when the pressure lies? Who can I trust? Tell me, tell me, who can I trust? When the circle tightens and the loyalty dog. Had a brother in the trenches since before the chain came. Swore on everything, now he moving in a different lane. I don't throw accusations, I just note the patterns. Who shows up at the low points is the only thing that matters. Been in rooms where silence spoke louder than agreements. Everybody waiting for the next man's grievances. So I watched the body language before I watched the mouth. Everything I built up north, now it's leaning south. Another name crossed off the list, I keep inside my chest. The ones who weren't there when they had every reason to be bad. Who can I trust when the money talk? Who stays down when the pressure lies? Who can I trust? Tell me, who can I trust? And the circle keeps getting smaller. 3 in the morning. I'm counting names again. Who can I trust? Who can I trust? Tell me, who can I trust? Nobody. Nobody. Trust nobody. Still counting exits. Still watching the smiles. I used to know everybody in the room. Now I count exits. Everybody at the table got a smile designed for business. Everybody at the table got a smile designed for business. Half of them would testify and call it witness fitness. I used to build with 12 men, now it's down to maybe 4. The ones who stay when dollars started knocking on the door. Loyalty's a luxury when pressure's at the window. Every conversation got a subtext I'm decoding. I keep my circle tight, not cause I'm antisocial, cause the ones who smiling loudest tend to move the most local. I built this from the concrete with my own two weathered hands, and now I'm second guessing every single one of my plans. Who can I trust when the money talks? Who stays down when the pressure locks? Who can I trust? Tell me, who can I trust? Had a brother in the trenches since before the chain came. Swore on everything, now he moving So I watch the body language before I watch the mouth. Everything I built up north, now it's leaning south. Another name crossed off the list I keep inside my chest. The ones who weren't there when they had every reason to be best. Who can I trust? When the money talks, who stays down? When the pressure locks, who can I trust? Tell me who can I trust? And the circle keeps getting smaller, smaller. 3 in the morning, I'm counting names again. Who can I trust? When the money talks, when the loyalty costs, nobody, still counting names. Still watching the smiles. I used to know. purest kind of foundation. Yeah, set on the concrete throne at the top of nobody's mountain. Not on a stage, just an alley where ambition starts counting. Every time a door closed, I found a window and charged it. Every name they call me wrong, I wore it till it started fitting like the armor that it was, uncomfortable and sharp. You build character out of friction, not from charts. I didn't come from nothing, I came from something harder. People telling me that nothing was the only thing I garnered. The throne is cracked, concrete don't pretend, but the view from the top of broken ground has no end. Concrete throne, nobody handing me the crown. Concrete throne, built it upside down. Concrete throne, from the rubble and the doubt. This is what survival looks like. Bite from the inside out. I watched men twice my age fold under ordinary pressure, and I used to judge until the same pressure came to measure me against the standard built to guarantee my failure. Then I understood why some of us become our own sailor, navigating waters with no map and questionable compass. The miracle is not the arrival, it's the process. Honest, every landmark I pass is a version of me I outgrew. The throne ain't comfortable, but it's absolutely true. I earned this. Every single scratch and gap in the foundation. I am not an accident, I am a deliberate calculation. Concrete throne, nobody handing me the crown. Concrete throne, built it upside down. Concrete throne, from the rubble and the doubt. Nothing about this was supposed to work out. Yo, you know what the worst part is? I do it all again, without changing a single bruise. Yo. The crown ain't made of gold, it's made of everything they took. Every door with a padlock and a do not in the look. Every application they decline before they read the name. Every court, every classroom, every crooked rig game, I wore it anyway. That's symmetric and unclean. The most legitimate crown is the one nobody's seen until the day you walk in rooms that wasn't built for your reflection, and you rearrange the furniture with nothing but intention. That crown doesn't smoke. We turned the smoke into signal. Every obstacle they put up became the next pinnacle. Crown in smoke. Nothing was forgotten. Crowned in smoke, built from what they burned. Crowned in smoke, this is what we earned. They burned the documentation, we memorized the protocol. They rewrote their history, we lived inside the vertical. Every statistic built the frame us as the outlier. We moved the frame, rebuilt the game, became the amplifier. Two coasts, two cities, different flavors of the same fight. The East came with the grit, the West came with the street life. But both of us been moving through the same rig opposition. Both of us been crowned and smoked by the same systems on mission. They said the crown would never fit on us. We built a bigger head. all earn this. They gave us smoke. They gave us smoke. They gave us smoke. We taught ourselves to breathe it. Then we started making fire. Still here, still wearing it, smoking all. Four lanes wide in the city, don't sleep. Exit 14. That's where they put everything cheap. 4 lanes wide in the city, don't sleep. Sun dropping low behind the 405 overpass, throwing copper light on everything that didn't last. I got one hand on the wheel and one eye on the lane, switching lanes slow, like the city taught my brain. Radio crackling, oldie station half a song, the kind of melody that tells you everything is wrong, but you keep driving, cause the meter keeps on running and the rent is due. And the corner boys are coming in to focus in the mirror, small and getting smaller, every exit sign a question I should've answered earlier. Marcus used to say, the freeway is a sermon, you either preach emotion or you're stuck in your hurt. And I took exit 14 cause my options all ran thin, took it like a man who's not sure where to begin. The small sits low over Inglewood tonight, making halos out of street lights, something close to light. Exit 14, where the city starts to breathe. Exit 14, where I can almost believe that the road ahead is longer than the one I left behind. Exit 14, it's not peace, it's just more time. I know every crack on this particular street, know which lot to park in, know who you don't greet, know the lady on the corner sells tamales on Fridays, know the guy next door's been sober 17 days. This is the geography you're trying to survive, not the Instagram of LA. The other side, where the palm trees look like broke umbrellas over concrete, where the kids grow up suspicious of the police beat. I got people who made it and people who stayed down, people who vanished and left nothing but the last round of drinks at the spot that closed when the rent went up, in the neighborhood where the neighborhood finally gave up. But I'm still here with my foot above the brake, watching exits pass like chances I'm too slow to take. Evening coming in over the hills, all purple and gray, and the 405 just carries me slowly away. Exit 14, where the city starts to breathe. Exit 14, where I can almost believe that the road ahead is longer than the one I left behind. Yeah. Exit 14, it's not peace, it's just more time. Maybe the freeway isn't going anywhere at all. Maybe we're just circling the city like a mall. Every car a story, every lane a different fate. Every exit someone's prayer that came a little late. I'm not going anywhere I haven't been before, but tonight the drive feels different than before the war. Mile marker nothing. Exit 14 in the dark. I keep driving just to keep the engine from the start. Four lanes wide. Look up from your phone for 1 minute. Just 1 minute on the train. Look at the faces around you. Every one of them is a whole story. 6 is 3 a.m. Seamstress in the fashion district. Makes the garment that the model wears on Tuesday's editorial. But Maria's name is nowhere near the pictorial. 12 hours of precision thread on a machine that never sleeps while the brand tells a story about values running deep. I see her on the train at 6 a.m. eyes closed but not resting, just conserving what she has before the day starts testing. The faces on the train are not commuters. They're the infrastructure of everything that functions. Every city runs on people who never get the credit. The ones our social feeds refuse to put in context. Faces on the train, I see you, the invisible labor that the city needs. Faces on the train, I see you, working harder than any headline reads. The man beside her, late 50s, clean uniform, worn shoes. Custodian at the hospital, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. blues. He sanitizes rooms where people fight to live or die. His hands are the first thing that says this place is safe. But why? Doesn't the paycheck reflect that? Why doesn't the city know exactly what shoulders the whole architecture rests below? Hip-hop taught me to see what the mainstream story skips, to find a verse in the person written out of scripts. Empathy is not just feeling, it's a practice. The deliberate act of looking past the surface at the faces on the train and asking, what's your morning? Before you get off at your stop and continue performing. On the train, we owe you more than the nothing that the systems give for what you call. On the train, we see you now, recognizing you is the least that we can allow. Maria told me once she likes the early train. Nobody talks, we're all just carrying our weight together. It's the quietest solidarity I've ever known. I've been on that train ever since, with different eyes. Faces on the train, hear this song. Every hour you work that they got wrong. Faces on the train, this verse is yours. Before the city rises, you built its floor. Look up from your phone for 1 minute. Not to film, not to post, just to see the person next to you carrying their whole world to work. Hustling toward the freight. That freeway money. Hustling toward the 6 in the morning, 4 or 5 moving strange. Before the bottleneck, before the office workers change. The flow of the city, I've been studying these patterns. Trading information, Bible checks, it really matters. For the type of opportunities that don't get advertised. The kind of move at certain hours in certain enterprise. I ain't talking product, I'm talking about information. The currency of anyone who's built without a foundation. The credit of connections of the names that open doors. I built my network out of nothing but the pager and my word in years. When the handshake was the contract and the record, I moved in pre-dawn hours cause the competition slept. And I learned the 405 like a language. Every ramp and idiom, every merge point in negotiation, every lane a medium for messages between people moving in the margin, between the legal and the necessary. That's the part. I grant myself in retrospect. Freeway money, made it moving fast.
Freeway money,
nothing built to last, but you build it anyway because the rent don't wait.
freeway money,
Hustling toward the freight. They built the wall around the opportunity on purpose. Design a city so the access stay beneath the surface. For people who look like me, sound like me. Grew up where I grew the 405 and Moke. They never thought we figured through, but we figured. We always figure when the need is existential. We found the seams, the gaps, the exits that were accidental. I got my first phone in 97 from a deal I brokered between a man who needed quiet and a man who needed closure. I never learned what the dispute was. Wasn't my division. I just provided information and I got my commission. Built it from there. Small jobs, reliable, discreet. Nobody's middleman on paper, but essential on the street. Now I drive the 405 at dawn. It's something like a ritual, a reminder that the grind is perpetual and visceral. Ain't nowhere to go but forward on the freeway going north, and ain't no shame in how you built it. Only shame in lacking work. freight. I kept my hands as clean as the game would let me keep them. I bent the rules but never broke the ones I believed in. Everyone who feeds their family in the margins of a system is writing their own code in the language of persistence.
Judge me if you want. The mile markers done. Freeway money.
Made it moving fast.
Freeway money.
Nothing built to last, but you build it anyway because the rent don't wait.
Freeway money.
Hustling toward the freight. 45, heading north. Dawn breaking over the interchange. Freeway money in the morning. Another day. Another lane. Another lane. West Coast. All day. Let me paint the picture right. West Coast. All day. Let me paint the picture right. Sun out, top down, system knocking out the speakers. 6 in the evening and the vibe is getting deeper. Cruising down the boulevard like the boulevard was painted. For this exact moment, for this drop, for this statement that the West is operating. The West is generating something the rest of the country keeps on underrating. We came from the margin of the map and built the center. Came from nothing with the frequency they couldn't sense. Of palm trees and ambition. That's the combination. Built the whole Pacific slope on pure determination. From Compton to the Crenshaw to the Long Beach Strip to Inglewood on fire. This the West Coast grip on everything creative, on everything that bangs, on everything that's moving. Hear them speakers do they thing while the city lights come up and the smog turns gold. The West Coast moves in waves. The West Coast can't be sold.
Freeway money.
We been getting it West Coast.
Freeway money.
From the valley to the coast. Los Angeles, Long Beach, Compton know the name.
West Coast.
Forever. Let me say it once again. The culture came from here before they licensed it and took it. Before the industry arrived and looked and overlooked it. In the credits, we've been making something out of nothing since the neighborhoods gave nothing, still gave something, and it went worldwide. The bass, the synth, the slow roll, the Sunday afternoon of it to take control of everything around you with the beat and the vocal. Standing on the corner, making something hyper local into something universal. That's the West Coast thesis. Every city got a version of it. All don't need a thesis. It just plays and everybody moves before they realize they moving. That's the G from gravity that never dies. I got freeway money in the speaker in the sunroof. I got California in my blood and I got living proof that the coast can hold its own from Venice to the valley. Every time they count us out, we close the tally.
Freeway money.
We been getting it West Coast.
Freeway money.
But from the valley to the coast. Los Angeles, Long Beach, Compton up the name.
West Coast.
Forever. Let me say it once again. This ain't a coast, it's a civilization. This ain't a scene, it's a generation. The people who built something real from pavement and patience in the base was always gonna find its way to every nation. I don't need to list the names know who they are. I don't need to call the cities got the scar and the trophy at the same time. That's the West Coast way, built it in the struggle and we celebrate the day. Not cause the struggle's over, but because we showed it can coexist. The pain and the party, the bass and the abyss, we hold them both and still produce the finest thing. The West Coast evergrade, the world, the groove, the ring is something both heavy and irresistibly smooth. Freeway money in the speaker in the groove.
Freeway money.
We been getting it West Coast.
Freeway money.
We're from the valley to the coast. Los Angeles, Long Beach, Compton know the name.
West Coast.
Forever. Let me say it once again. West Coast, all day, from the first light to the last exit. We holding, we rolling, we building, we building. Every legend I knew clocked in before sunrise. and never really left.
Legends never clocked out. Legends never clocked out.
Yeah.
Legends never clocked out.
Yeah. I think about the ones who paved me before the paving was acknowledged. The ones whose names got footnoted and whose work became the college. Curriculum we study without knowing where it came from.
Never getting credit.
Never getting credit for the frequency they laid on. I think about the cats who moved through hostile neighborhoods with grace, who built entire economies inside a hostile space. Their legacy alive in every bar I've ever written, in every melody I use, in every rhythm I am given. They never clocked out.
Even when the world refused to punch them in.
Legends don't retire.
They just shift the frequency they're living in. Legends never clocked out.
Still here in the sample.
Legends never clocked out.
Still here in the channel.
Legends never clocked out.
In the vinyl and the beat.
Legends never clocked out.
They just changed the frequency. I used to think success was measured in the rooms you finally entered. But the ones who mattered most were measured by the ones they centered. The mentor never asked for credit, never sent the invoice. He just showed up when the doubt was so loud, I lost my voice. Both coasts, same night, same hunger, that's what he would say. Meaning wherever you come from, the grind don't give you away. He's gone now, but that phrase still lives inside my morning. It's the first thing that I heard before I heard the day's first warning. The legends never needed recognition to remain essential. They understood that legacy is longer than the credentials. Never clocked out. Still here in the sample. Legends never clocked out. Still here in the channel. Legends never clocked out. In the vinyl and the beat. I hear them every time I lay a track beneath my feet. Both coasts, same night, same hunger. I finally understand what that means. It means we were never lonely, Legends never clocked out. Still here in the sample. Legends never clocked out. Still here in the channel. Legends never clocked out. In the vinyl, in the beat. Legends never clocked out. They just changed the frequency. Still grind. Same hunger. Different frequency now. Rest easy. Low ride. We don't rush, we cruise. That's a West Coast principle. The bass so deep, it makes the asphalt feel subliminal. When 1964 and candy apple rolling slow, hydraulics hissing like a secret only riders know. The block know my name before they ever see my face. The system's on the trunk, speakers rattling the space between right and wrong, which in Compton is a highway. Choices come in seconds, hesitation is a byway. You either ride the moment or the moment ride you under. You either hold your ground or you become the next number. My uncle said the street will test your character twice. Once when it offers you the life again, when the name's a price I paid, the price in years I can't get returned. I paid in trust that got betrayed before it earned, but I'm still rolling. That's the point, that's the identity. I ride because the alternative is dying silently.
Low ride or die.
That's the code on this side.
Low ride or die.
Keep your loyalty wide.
The bass don't lie.
What the buy?
The street don't forget. You either ride or fold.
And I ain't folded yet. Yeah, they built the freeway through the heart of our block. Displaced a generation, put a wall where we talk, but we adapted. Lowered everything, including anger. Learned to move through life at 15 miles per danger. Reggie called the case in 99, came home in 06. Neighborhood was different, but the frequency was fixed. Same bass notes, humming through the walls of every function. Same crossroads at the First and Central Conjunction. I bring them dinner Wednesdays, that's the least that I can do for a man who took the fall on something that I knew. Loyalty is the currency they don't teach in schools, but every block in Compton got a doctorate in rules. Unwritten, unspoken, but it's binding as a contract. You violate the code and there ain't no coming back from that. So I ride clean, I ride slow, I ride with purpose, because the street can see what's hiding below the surface.
Low ride or die.
That's the code on this side.
Low ride or die.
Keep your loyalty wide.
The bass don't lie. The street don't forget. You either ride or fold.
And I ain't folded yet. Yeah. There's a difference between loyalty and blind devotion, between holding down the block and feeding the erosion. The riders I trust are the ones who tell me when I'm wrong, not the ones who clap and co-sign every move along. Loyalty means asking hard questions to your brother's face, not just riding with the smoke into the next disgrace.
Low ride or die.
That's the code on this side.
Low ride or die.
Keep your loyalty wide.
The bass don't lie. The street don't forget. You either ride or fold.
And I ain't folded yet. Still rolling. The sun going down. Bass steady on the avenue. Low and slow. And I'm holding down. Let's go. Block shut down. Block shut down. Block shut down. Hydraulics on display. 200 people in the speakers got something to say. Yeah. 200 people in the speakers got something to say about the West, about the bass, about the candy paint, about the culture that the radio can't describe or paint accurate. You gotta be there, you gotta feel the ground shake when the woofers hit and the 808 wraps around. The parking lot like weather, you don't stand in it, you breathe it. The car show is a sermon and the congregation reads it. In the way bodies move when the right track drops, when somebody 64 lifts on hydraulic props and the whole block hollering. Like the city said something, everybody felt that feeling that the city keeps becoming something else. But underground the frequency stays fixed, same G-funk dinging, egging every kick, every mix. This is what we built when they weren't watching. This right here, the car show and the baseline is the culture crystal clear.
Low ride or die.
This is how we celebrate.
Low ride or die.
Can't nobody replicate the West Coast thing.
West Coast thing.
You either feel it in your chest or you don't.
Low ride or die.
We built the rest. Cabins on the hood of a Chevrolet Impala 85 restored, the color of a dollar lake. That deep green that catches light like water. Every head turning like he trained them all 2/4. When he pulls up in the hydraulics, start the conversation. With the concrete, that's communication. Not for anybody outside, for the block, the family, the people who know what that sound means canonically. Rico's got the regal, Bobby's got the money. Everybody brought something to show, and entry's free, cause the car show ain't a competition, it's a gathering. You show up with what you built and everybody's capturing the same memory from different angles. That's the art, that's the version of the West Coast they never chart. On any method, Saturday and summer when the street becomes a living room and everybody's got a seat.
Low ride or die.
This is how we celebrate.
Low ride or die.
Can't nobody replicate the West Coast thing.
West Coast thing.
You either feel it in your chest, or you don't.
Low ride or die.
We built the rest. When the sun goes down and the hydraulics quiet, when the block returns to its regular riot of ordinary life and ordinary sound. This stays. That's what the bass is for, to leave a mark on where your feet once found. The ground.
Low ride or die.
This is how we celebrate.
Low ride or die.
Can't nobody replicate the West Coast thing.
West Coast thing.
You either feel it in your chest or you don't.
Low ride or die.
We built the rest. Last car rolling out at midnight. Calvin's taillights, candy green. Block quiet now. The bass still in the concrete. Block shut down. Block shut down. Hydraulics on display. Block shut down. Block shut down. Block shut down. Block shut down. Hydraulics on display. 200 people on the speakers got something to say. 200 people when the speakers got something to say. About the West, about the bass, about the candy paint, about the culture that the radio can't describe or paint. Accurate, you gotta be there, you gotta feel the ground. Shake when the woofers hitting the 808 wraps around the parking lot like weather. You don't stand in it, you breathe it. The car show is a sermon and the congregation reads it. In the way bodies move when the right track drops. When somebody 64 lifts on hydraulic props. And the whole block hollering like the city said something. Everybody felt that feeling that the city keeps becoming something else. But underground the frequency stay fixed. Same G-Funk DNA in every kick, every mix. This is what we built when they weren't watching this right here. The car show when the bass line is the culture, crystal clear.
Low ride or die.
This is how we celebrate. Low ride or die.
Low ride or die.
Can't nobody replicate the West Coast thing.
You either feel it in your chest
or you don't.
Low ride or die.
We built the rest. Calvin's on the hood of a Chevrolet Impala. 85 restored the color of $1. Lake that deep green that catches light like water. Every head turning like he trained them all to quarter. When he pulls up in the hydraulics, start the conversation with the concrete. That's communication. Not for anybody outside, for the block, the family. The people who know what that sound means canonically. Rico's got the regal, Bobby's got the money. Everybody brought something to show when entry's free. Cause the car show ain't a competition, it's a gathering. You show up with what you built and everybody's capturing the same memory from different angles. That's the art, that's the version of the West Coast. They never chart on any map. The Saturday and summer when the street becomes a living room and everybody's got a seat.
Low ride or die.
This is how we celebrate. Low ride or die.
Low ride or die.
Can't nobody replicate the West Coast thing.
You either feel it in your chest
or you don't.
Low ride or die.
We built the rest. When the sun goes down and the hydraulics quiet, when the block returns to its regular riot, ordinary life and ordinary sound. This stay. That's what the bass is for.
To leave a mark on where your feet once found the ground. Low ride or die.
This is how we celebrate. Low ride or die.
Low ride or die.
Can't nobody replicate the West Coast thing.
You either feel it in your chest
or you don't.
Low ride or die.
We built the rest. Last car rolling out at midnight. Calvin's taillights, candy green. Block quiet now, but the bass still in the concrete. Everyone they build it. Every wall they built, I turned into a door. wouldn't make it past the first gate of the pressure. Funny how the doubt became the fuel and not the severer. I've been through rooms where the temperature was hostile on arrival. Every conversation a tribunal, every breath a matter of survival. No surrender written in the syntax of my movement. Every setback cataloged and metabolized as improvement. I don't negotiate with comfort, that's a luxury, a privilege. I move through walls cause only walls reveal my real leverage. They counted me out at the start of every chapter. I didn't argue, I just showed up in the next one after. No surrender, not on this asphalt. No surrender, every default. No surrender, every closed door, every fall. No surrender, from everything they thought we led. I represent the ones who move through hostile architecture, survive the condescension of the so-called sector. Who thought I zip code was our ceiling and our flow? We turned the zip code into a foundation, nothing more. Too close to kids who built their whole identity from friction, who treated limitation as a creative jurisdiction. No surrender in a marrow, in a blueprint, in a ledger. We move like water, we go around, we don't get deader. They never built a wall I couldn't eventually dismantle. Every single system that they raised became my handle. No surrender, not on this asphalt. No surrender, every default. No surrender, every closed door, every door.
We are still standing.
No surrender. They call our survival resilience, like it's supposed to be a compliment. It's a report card on everything they built against us.
No surrender.
No surrender, not on this asphalt. No surrender, every default. No surrender, every closed door, every fall.
Somehow still here.
Both coasts. Somehow still here. Both coasts. No surrender. Before I talk about money, let me tell you about 5 a.m. in cold hands. Paper route mentality. Paper route mentality. Yo, rose before the sun did with a route I memorized. 57 houses, rubber bands, and half open eyes. Soaked through in November, they said the hustle shaped you. I believed it to the fourth winter, tried to break you. Paper route at 7, corner store at 16. Every dollar folded twice before it hit the scene. Mama counting cabinets, daddy off the payroll. This ain't ambition talking, this is how the day goes. You want the crown, you better know the headache that it carries. Every dollar earned out here comes with somebody's commentary. Paper route mentality. Nothing comes free in this city, in this paper route mentality. Grind till they finally be seen. Grind till they finally be seen. Yeah, moved up from routes to rooms where deals got made quiet. Handshakes over handouts, the difference is a riot. I watched a man lose everything, chasing 7 figures. The dollar don't discriminate, it pulls whoever's trigger. Work ethic don't come with a warranty or manual. The ones who make it through are built different, not mechanical. Every setback logged in a ledger, nobody's reading. Set me at 3 a.m. when the walls start agreeing. I didn't come this far to watch it evaporate. This ain't a dream, it's a balance sheet I'm trying to negotiate. Paper out mentality. Nothing comes free in this city. Paper out mentality. Grind till they finally see. different digits. Still count. Paper route mentality. Let me tell you about 5 a.m. and cold hands. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. 5 a.m. Rose before the sun did. With a route I memorized. 57 houses, rubber bands, and half open eyes. Soaked through in November. They said the hustle shapes you. I believed it till the fourth winter tried to break you. Paper route is 7. Corner store was 16. Every dollar folded twice before it hit the scene. Mama counting cabinets, daddy off the payroll. This ain't ambition token. This is how the day goes. You want the crown? You better know the headache that it carries. Every dollar earned out here comes with somebody's commentary. Paper route mentality. Nothing comes free in this city. Paper route mentality. Grind till they finally see. Moved up from routes to rooms where deals got made quiet. Handshakes over handouts, the difference is a riot. I watched a man lose everything, chasing 7 figures. The dollar don't discriminate, it pulls whoever's trigger. Work ethic don't come with a warranty or manual. The ones who make it through are built different, not mechanical. Every setback logged in a ledger, nobody's reading except me at 3 a.m. when the walls started greening. I didn't come this far to watch it evaporate. This ain't a dream, it's a balance sheet. I'm trying to negotiate. Paper out mentality. Nothing comes free in this city. Paper out mentality. Grind till they finally see. Grind till they finally see. Yo, what they never put in the spreadsheet. The cost of staying. The cost of staying. Paper out mentality. Paper out mentality. Paper out mentality. Grind till they finally see. Same hunger, different digits. Still counting. Yeah. Respect is not a request. It's a system of consequences. Yeah, this block been mine since way before the paperwork existed. Every corner measured, every agreement witnessed. The ones who tried to move through uninvited got redirected, not by violence, by the way to being unexpected. I move with protocol, no cowboy operation. Everybody eats, but everybody earns their placement. Respect the architecture of what somebody built before you, or the structure of the street will find a way to restore you. Regulate, not just the block, but the energy inside it. You can't lead what you ain't disciplined enough to guide it. Regulate the block, regulate the mind, regulate the dollar and the limited time. Regulate the circle, regulate the code. This ain't a suggestion, this is how we hold. Had a situation in the spring, outside element. Tested what we built like a structural experiment. I had to make a call that cost me half a friendship, but the block stays stable, that's the math of leadership. Some things you can't negotiate and some things you can't lose. Regulate means knowing which is which before you choose. The ones who built with you will understand the pressure. The ones who bounce will never really can regardless. You either regulate or get regulated. No in between. I learned that early when the consequences could not be unseen. Regulate the block, regulate the mind, regulate the dollar and the limited time. Regulate the circle, regulate the code. That's our code. I didn't choose this road. The road chose me. When nobody else was standing.
and the limited time. Regulate, 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 regulate. That's our code.
The block don't sleep, but sometimes I do.
Red light, red light, red light. Red light, red light, red light. Red light. Red light, red light. Read cars back, cars back. This city breathing through the cracks. Yeah. I've been stopped at this corner since I was 17, watching which way the tide picks up and which way it leans. Signal light red, same color as the decade, same color as the warnings I ignored in the early stages. They told me education was the ladder out the block. I climbed 3 rungs and fell back when the system slipped the lock. Wasn't angry, wasn't bitter, just recalibrated. Found another route, the maps and counselors never stated. This Sean took the offer from the county, 3 to 5. Came out different, not broken, but not quite as alive. Tamara moved to Riverside, got a nursing license, working double shifts, sending money back across the silence. And me, I stayed, I drove, I watched the exits, made a life from what was left when the better parts got nexted. This life been cycling green arrests before the riots. Watched it from 3 different cars and never found it quiet.
I testify
to what I've seen on these streets, not the version on the news.
the one beneath,
Signal light swinging on the cable.
in the cable, in the wind.
I testify,
I testify,
this is where I've
always been.
Yeah. The preacher on the corner says the city is a sin. I used to walk past him, now I stop and listen in. Not because I found religion or the Holy Ghost caught me, but cause he's the only one who's telling stories truly. About the woman in the shelter off of Florence Avenue, about the kid who found a piece behind the school, about the men in suits who came and rezoned everything, about the promises of progress and what promises bring. I'm just a driver with a story and a route, watching signal lights tell me when to wait and when to move out. Testimony isn't always words shouted from a stage. Sometimes it's just surviving to a certain kind of age, getting through the signal light another afternoon, knowing what you know, choosing what to do with noon. When it blazes down on Inglewood and everything stands still, and the only thing between survival and surrender is your will.
I testify
To what I've seen on these streets, not the version on the news.
the one beneath,
Signal light swinging on the cable.
on the cable, in the wind.
I testify,
I testify,
this is where I've
always been.
Yeah, there were names I carried that the city never counted, faces from the block that the statistics never mounted. I say their names out loud when I pull up to the red. Not a prayer exactly, more like proof they weren't just gone. They moved ahead, somewhere in the archive of the city's muscle memory. Still driving, still burning, still testifying. Signal goes green, I let 2 cars go first. Watching the city shift from the one I know to the one that keeps getting worse.
I testify.
Somewhere between winning and surviving, you forget to breathe. I used to run at everything like time was running out from under.
Every pause a weakness, every rest a kind of blunder. But the road gets long when you ain't listening to your body, and the hustle turns to hollow when you're grinding just to study. How'd it feel like you deserve the room you're standing in the night? 20 years of motion and I woke up in the light. Slow and now deliberate, I choose each word I'm giving. Not afraid of silence, now I know that's not living.
Slow down, player.
The game will still be there tomorrow. Every crown gets heavy when you never learn to borrow. Time.
Slow down,
The block ain't going anywhere. Slow down.
slow down,
Breathe the night in. Breathe the night in.
slow down.
The hustle is a river, not a race, not a race, not a race.
You earned the right to stand still. Then take up space.
I call my brother on the Tuesday, just like that, no reason. Hadn't talked in maybe 3 years. Different lives, different seasons. He picked up like no time. Had passed it all between us. And I realized the grind had been the thing that came between us. When the payment money went in positions rearranged, but the kid from the same block that stays unchanged. Slow down means you notice who was there before the accolades, who was there on days without the performance, without the charades.
Slow down.
Long enough to see the ones who never asked for credit. They were holding a foundation
While you chase the headlines, edit.
Slow down.
The block ain't going anywhere.
Slow down.
Slow down.
Breathe the night air. Breathe the night.
Slow down.
The hustle is a river, not a race.
You've been running hard enough.
Slow down.
Find your place.
This is not giving up. This is the most disciplined thing
I have ever done. Oh, yeah. There's enough. There's enough.
Slow down.
Breathe the night.
Slow down.
The block ain't going anywhere.
Slow down.
Slow down.
The hustle is a river, not a race.
Slow down.
You made it.
Slow down. Still here.
Still breathing. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Two cities, one sky, 2,300 miles between us. But tonight, the moon doesn't give a damn about geography.
West side. West side, late night, palm trees leaning quiet. Street lights painting gold on every crack, the fire hydrant. The boulevard slow rolls like a river that don't rush. Got homies on the stoop playing cards and talking hush. Windows down, bass low, the block still breathing. Everybody move different since December. I'm breathing faces like paperback novels, warm from all the weather. Both coasts, same night, same hunger. Birds of a feather. What you know about the hunger that don't sleep? The kind that makes a man negotiate with concrete. Two lanes, one road.
East to west, we all came up cold.
Two lanes, one road.
Grinding since before the world was told.
East side first like the bodega already lit. Old man Ortega counting singles in the spit. Brick buildings breathing, steam rising from the grate. Every step of negotiation, every corner a debate. They say the city never sleeps, nah, she just changes shifts. Working double when the rent due when the circumstance drifts. I seen the kid in 94 build a castle in his head. By morning it was rubble, now he's grinding for his bread. Same concrete, different zip code, same code. The wire runs through all of us, I've been told.
we all came up though. Two lanes, one road. Still grinding after all we've been sold. They drew the line between us, but hunger don't respect the border.
West side at the dot, at the dot, at the dot.
East to west, east to west, east to west.
Two lanes, one road.
East to west, we all came
Two
up.
lanes, one road. Two lanes,
East to west,
two lanes, one road.
east to west. Same wire held us. Same sky. Watched us rise.